Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. We are back here at CES Motorsport. Today we're going to talk about one of my friend's cars, Matt. He used to own an M2. His name on Instagram is M2 Ghost, but he had this beautiful wide body M2. Unfortunately, that car is no longer with us. But the cool thing is the spirit of the car lives on in this 135. And today we're going to talk a little bit about everything that we've done so far to this car because it's a pretty interesting build. The engine was taken from that M2 as well as a lot of these suspension components, and it's pretty unique when it comes down to what has actually gone into the car so far. So we're just starting on the car. This is gonna be a long process for this build, but stay tuned, it's gonna be a good one.
Hey guys, Sindel over here at CES Motorsport. We have a customer's 135 here that we've been working on for some time now, getting his suspension dialed. So this customer did have an M2 previously, and this is his 135i. Obviously the 135i does not come with an upgraded diff and all the nice control arms that an M car does have. So we opted for upgrading everything in the rear end so he's able to track this vehicle. First notable thing here that we have upgraded is his differential and drive shaft and axles. We did go with the Sleems Legit Ford 8x8 kit with their Outlaw axle upgrade and all of their upgraded bushings that they provide. So it's got two mounts on the differential versus having just one mount. It optimizes the way your diff is mounted. We do have the poly black diff bushings in there. Customer provided the rev shift trailing arm upgrade. We did also upgrade to 3DM engineering ball joint bushings versus the rubber bushings. That cause a lot of deflection, so it helps get rid of that deflection when you're on track. Also has SPL parts, upgraded toe arms. He doesn't have the eccentric lockout just yet. We are getting that on order here soon, so he will have that, and it will get rid of the eccentric bolt adjustment that the factory toe arm has. He's also got the SPL parts, upgraded upper control arms, maximize his adjustment for track and pretty much get any race alignment he wants. It gets rid of all the stock bushings that come with the stock control arms, so it's all spherical bearings. And then he's got an M3 or 1M lower control arm with the 1M KW Club Sports. Does have rebound adjustment, high and low compression as well. Has all new ball joints, SPL parts end links, upgraded sway bars, new wheel bearings and new hubs for the car. He also has upgraded subframe bushings. We did the Turner solid aluminum bushings. So the customer did have an M2 and he used the M2 brakes off of his car, and we did the Sleems Legit upgrade. They have a conversion kit that they provide where you can just swap them direct with their spacer plate and their adapter brackets. So we're using the F80 370mm brakes, so they're a lot larger. Upgraded his brake lines as well. He has ECS stainless steel brake lines, and you can see the bracket there for the upgrade. We rebuilt his calipers as well. So he has the KW Club Sports up front as well, the ECS stainless brake lines. He has Beamer World sway bar end links, adjustable end links. It's a preloaded sway bar. He does have white line front and rear sway bars, so they are upgraded. His control arms are still stock right now at the moment. We will be upgrading the SPL parts, control arms, and probably the outer tie rods as well. We'll probably do the SPL parts to tie in everything else. He has a CES 3582R single turbo kit for the N55 motor. Complete custom kit. Yep, it is a bottom mount single turbo kit. We've never done one for the N55, so this is the first N55 kit out there right now. It is recirculated wastegate. It's got upgraded AN lines for his drain, feed, and coolant lines. He's got the Precision Raceworks -6 AN lines with an ethanol sensor that we are tying into its reflex. Has the VRSF 7.5-inch 1000 race intercooler, huge intercooler. I think it's stepped. Yeah, stepped intercooler. So this is a E9X non-M lower control arm, spring arm. All of those arms have the bushing that your strut sits on basically, and it's held by a nut at the bottom. It's not a great design, doesn't allow a lot of articulation in the suspension, tends to bind up. They do sell monoball upgrades that you can replace for this. It helps a little bit, but ideally what you want is a M3 control arm if you do this conversion. So he does have 1M coilovers on there to fit that with brand new monoball bushings. And he also has upgraded to the Beamer World inner bushing, so it gets rid of the rubber bushing that sits there. It's also lighter, it's not as heavy as the stock arm, and it's a lot stronger. You can see the flanges aren't as thick as these are a lot thicker.
Yeah.
And obviously this one is a bolt-in style, so the strut is bolted to the arm instead of just sitting in a bushing. These bushings fail and the rear end will feel very sloppy once they do fail.
It makes a big difference.
Huge difference. So these bushings from factory are rubber.
On the trailing arm?
On the trailing arm. The inner and the outer bushing are both rubber. We do the ball joint style bushing. Beamer World sells a set, and so does 3DM Engineering. They're local here in North Carolina. These are the 3DM Engineering version. They're basically the same thing. It's just a smaller ball joint style bushing compared to the outers out here. But it allows for movements, so you can actually move this arm. Allows it to articulate, gets rid of the deflection that rubber does have, and over time rubber does fail, especially if you're tracking the car. Yeah, that whole bracket. We did the PowerFlex race front diff bushings, so it has upgraded diff bushings on there now, and then they provide their bushings for the diff itself and their bracket.
And Seems Legit did the drive shaft.
Yeah, that's the Seems Legit drive shaft as well that they provide with their adapter plate for the transmission. We also have upgraded trans bushings. These are the Rogue Engineering bushings. We like to run them on all of our cars over stock.
Yeah.
We don't really like the poly too much unless it's like a full race car and doesn't get street driven. So most customers prefer to have something more soft.
Nice. All right, guys, so that is going to wrap up the first portion of this build. Thank you guys for tuning in. We've got plenty more to come. I wanted to show you guys this video because I think that a lot of the steps that we are taking with Matt's car here in terms of suspension, I'm going to be taking with my car, especially a lot of the stuff in like the rear subframe and the bushings and the trailing arms, the E9X control arms, a lot of that stuff. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys in the next one.